You answered a question in the last episode about free content not converting to paying customers. The advice made sense, but I'm a local service business. I don't really have guides or videos. My content is just showing up and doing the job. Is any of this AI stuff actually built for someone like me? Or is it mostly for people who are already doing content marketing? I think the application's different.
Yeah.
Obviously what we were talking about today with voice cloning is very kind of content marketing or digital focused. But something I was playing with for a side project is like wanting to figure out if these tools could help me produce quality ads for my, business or products, video ads. And, um, and in minutes, I was able to produce with Claude Design something that's like fairly usable.
Yeah.
Without any iteration in that case. So I do think that there's like applications regardless of the type of business you have, whether that's maybe giving you access to like quality marketing materials that otherwise would have cost a lot of money. Or time.
And there are plenty of operational ways that these can be useful for your business too, to save you time or save you effort or save the amount of money you have to pay for services and platforms and whatnot. Like I mentioned last week, the one example that was so cool was my wife using ChatGPT for room mockups. That's part of her services she provides, is the mockup phase, where she takes her taste to pick items for a room and lay them out, but then uses AI to actually create the mockup of what that might look like. So then she can go and actually purchase the items and decorate the real space. Same thing for like a landscape architect. Take an image of, or take a picture of somebody's house, sketch on your iPad or something like that what your design is, where is the hardscaping going to go, what plants are going to go where, and then ask Gemini or ChatGPT to turn it into a rendering of what those things could look like.
Yeah.
And then in the back of house side of things, you can use it for all sorts of stuff to help evaluate trends in your orders. Like give it your past year's worth of project details. Where did you spend time? What did you actually produce? Who was buying? And ask it to help you come up with a plan for the upcoming year. Where do you need to hire in your business? Where should you be marketing? Who is paying the most for the services that you want to provide the most? There's an endless.
I love that one. My brother-in-law actually is a self-employed landscape architect, and he's been doing that for himself 6-7 years now. But I remember the conversations with him early on where he was through like personal analysis, figuring out who his ideal customer was. The jobs that he could meet as a self-employed landscape architect who would then kind of outsource installation and stuff. So not too big or like scope that he couldn't meet, but also, the margins need to be profitable. So it can't be, but you can have it look at that and figure that stuff out for you.
Yeah.
There's all kinds, and I mean, maybe we don't get into some of the back of house stuff as much because it's maybe a little less exciting, but maybe we should, cover that a little bit more in an upcoming episode about just the practical ways that you can just get time back, especially for when I think of like local service businesses like this viewer's question, who gave the question. I picture the self-employed service business who's up late balancing the books and doing all these like manual tasks that are not their skill set, not the thing that they love doing, or necessarily really good at, but has to be done.
Yeah. You know what? This gives me another idea for a future show. So I have an e-commerce store for my pickleball paddles. And one of the things I should do, and I will wait until we do this live, is take all of the product visit metrics. So like which products are visited most, which paddles, compare that to which products are purchased most, and then ask for an evaluation of, what I might do differently. Like, does it see things in the way that I'm presenting my products or the way I'm writing descriptions that leads to higher conversion rates that I might never notice? That's something that any of us with an e-commerce store could replicate, that same type of evaluation. And who knows, maybe it'll help. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I love that. We're going to do it.